My name is Okong Peter. I work with the Insurance Regulatory Authority as Senior Licensing and Compliance Officer, and I'm also in charge of agriculture insurance at the authority. At the authority, we license, regulate, supervise, and control the conduct of business, of insurance business in the country. Now, today we are going to specifically talk about agriculture insurance, agriculture being the backbone of our country, and we felt that at least we need to share some knowledge about this product called agriculture insurance and who is entitled, who can benefit from it. Agriculture insurance, as it sounds, it is basically insuring agriculture production cycle. What that means is that we insure your crops when they're in the garden, and livestock. For livestock, you can insure them anytime, while for crops, they are seasonal. As we know, in Uganda, we have mainly 2 seasons, although some districts or some parts of the country, they have more than 2. Like some part of northern and central, they have three planting windows. But for this first season, this is the time when all the farmers out there are advised to start planting. Or I know garden preparation is done. Now it is the time to start planting because we anticipate rain to start very soon. We basically have 2 broad categories. One, we have index-based agriculture insurance, and the other one is multi-peril or indemnity products. Now, for index-based, it works for both crops and livestock. Now, we have products like weather-based index insurance, area yield-based insurance. We have soil moisture. All these, we use satellites to measure the availability of moisture or conditions which favors crops growth. Now, for you to benefit from this, or for you to get this kind of product, index products mainly work for small-scale farmers. It doesn't work for large-scale farmers because here we are using satellite to monitor the availability of favorable condition for crop growth. Now, someone may ask, who qualify for a small scale? As I said, those with, should I say 0.1 hectare or acres to 5 acres, and in a season they don't get, or they get something which is below 20 million. You qualify to take weather-based index insurance. And why do we recommend it for small scale farmers? Because the processes or what is done, we basically rely on technology to monitor the water availability or moisture availability. It doesn't involve coming to your farm or coming to verify what has happened on ground, and hence the cost of doing business is slightly lower compared to multi-peril. And the other thing about it is that farmers can come as a group. You don't need to come as an individual. Say you are 1 acre or 2 acres, and someone will be asking, how can I pay for 1 acre as an individual? Can the insurance company give me a policy for that? Yes, insurance company can give you cover, provided you come as a team. We know in the villages or farmers have their associations. It may not necessarily be registered, but you have how you operate up in the villages there. You have your circles, you have your groups, you can be insured as a group. That is for the crop. Then for livestock, we also have livestock index insurance. For it, it monitors grass availability, because we know livestock relies on grass. So when there is too much green, or the environment is green, we know that livestock are able to get food for their consumption, and at the end of the day, their production will be up there. Say those ones being reared for milk, when they have enough feed or food, they are able to produce enough milk. The same applies to those for beef. When animals have good food, they have enough food, you find that the production goes higher. That is index. Then we have indemnity based. Now, indemnity, it is an insurance term, which means putting you in a position you are in before. For weather based index insurance, we don't put you in a position you are in before. We measure the variation in the weather conditions which you need for your crops or livestock to survive. So we know the optimum, which we measure what has happened in comparison with what you should or would have had. If there's a deviation, then we compensate you based on that. While for indemnity, now for indemnity, this product here works in such a way that a farmer is put in a position they were in before the loss. What that means is that you're going to, right now it's a planting window. Say you have your 10 acres and you're going to plant maize or soybeans, rice or whatever, mention them. You go to the insurance company, request them to sell to you insurance, or you buy your insurance policy. They give you a policy, give you the terms and conditions. But the key things to note about this product is that the insurance company will have to visit your farm. And in most cases, they visit the farm 3 times. What that means is that they come after germination, they'll do ad hoc inspection, and finally, before you start harvesting. And why do they do this? They do this to ensure that a farmer is carrying out proper farming mechanism and they're doing things according to the right practice so that they're able to achieve the desired, expected yield. That is for crop. Then and just to mention, this product here, it covers various risks. It covers things like rainfall, excessive rainfall, drought, hailstorm, frost, floods, landslide, to mention but a few. So if you're a large-scale farmer out there, these things do not invite. You don't know when it will happen. I would advise you to go approach the nearby insurance company to give you insurance policies. Right now, the authority has opened up branches we have regional branches whereby you can move to them and find out from them how you can purchase this agriculture insurance, this being the window, the planting window. We have an office in Mbarara, we have another one in Gulu and Mbale. So whoever is in those districts or nearby, instead of you walking to Kampala, you can move to those places, find where insurance regulatory authority is, or any insurance company. You go to their offices, they'll guide you on how to acquire these products. Maybe let me also talk about poultry. It's also an indemnity product. It is a mortality cover, which means covers these birds against death. It protects them against all deaths, provided they are uncontrollable. Now, there are those vaccinatable diseases which you must vaccinate as a farmer. Now, if you don't do that, then insurance may not cover you. So I don't want to just tell you that they cover everything. There are things which they don't cover, and some of them being vaccinatable diseases. However, if you vaccinate your animal and it dies as a result of vaccination, then insurance company will be able to compensate you in case of that. So for livestock, it is a mortality cover, which means it covers these animals against death. We also have apiculture. This insurance is for bees. Now, if you have your farm of bees, you can also insure them. For it, it is an index cover. They monitor the amount of sunshine, or we know very well that bees would be doing well during a certain season. Then there's also named perils. It's one of the products which we offer in the market. Named peril being what it means, it's named. You as a farmer, you go to the insurance company and tell them, I don't want to cover my garden against all these risks. What I want is this one. I've been in this industry and I know this is what worries me most. So insurance company will be able to give you cover for a named peril. For example, sugarcane farmer. A sugarcane farmer, why would they buy excessive cover for excessive rainfall? It doesn't affect them in any way. Their biggest worry is fire. So you find that as a sugarcane farmer, you go to insurance company and you request to be covered for a particular named peril, being fire. The same applies to forest. Those in forestry, they can also buy the same products whereby you know these are the things which gives me sleepless nights, and insurance company will be able to provide you with that. Yeah, so I think I've answered, those are basically the major products which are offered in the market. However, if there is anything you'd like to be covered, as I said, you're free to walk to the insurance company, and they'll be able to offer you the product you want. And just maybe for clarity, agriculture insurance in Uganda, it's a national scheme operating under Uganda National Agriculture Insurance Scheme, being administered by Agro Consortium, which is a coalition of insurance companies selling or offering agriculture insurance. Thank you. Actually, government is involved in multiple ways. As I've said, this is a national scheme. From the name, it is Uganda National Agriculture Insurance Scheme, which means it is a national thing. Government plays roles in different ways. As Insurance Regulatory Authority, we are government entity, and we play big roles in this space. One, we license insurance companies, which insures agriculture. That is a big role which government plays. We create enabling environment for the risk carriers to come and transact. We also do awareness. As I mentioned before, we've created offices outside Kampala so that we reach out to our farmers. The target is to reach out to the last person down there. So having those offices down there, it helps us reach out to those farmers, and that is form of awareness. Talk about Ministry of Agriculture. They have extension workers. The extension workers are down there engaging with farmers, teaching them the best farming practices, how to do farming in order for them to achieve the expected yield. And in the National Agriculture Insurance Scheme, Minister of Agriculture also advises on which area or which crops or which enterprise should be prioritized. So they play a big role when it comes to that. Ministry of Finance, which is our major ministry, the government of Uganda offers premium subsidy, and it is done through the Ministry of Finance. So government plays a big role when it comes to this. They pay a portion of premium for farmers. Say a farmer is located in Masaka, and they are planting they are expecting 1 million at the end of the season. They have planted their soybeans, or what is planted there most, say beans, and at the end of the season they expect to get 1 million from the garden. The rate is 5%. 5% times 1 million, that's around 5,000? 5,000 or 3,000? 5,000. So what happens is that government pays half of that. That being a small scale farmer, government will pay for that person. Say if the premium is 50,000, government will pay for that farmer 25,000, and the other side, the farmer pays 25,000. If a farmer is located in a disaster-prone areas, say Teso region, Karamoja, Elgon region, Isingiro in the west, and the West Nile, whether you're a small-scale farmer or a large-scale farmer, government pays for you 80% of the premium, and you only pay 30%. All these are the intervention or contribution of government to agriculture insurance in the industry or in the country. Government also showed goodwill by removing VAT. Agriculture insurance, in agriculture insurance, farmers don't pay VAT. They don't pay stamp duty, which is a tax. So all these are the contribution of government, and still through Ministry of Finance, creation of awareness. We've done so many interventions. We've moved the Ministry of Finance to do awarenesses, to reach out to farmers, go to radio talk shows, tell them about agriculture insurance and how our farmers can be hedged from these production risks. So yes, government plays a big role in this space. I've not mentioned other ministries like Meteorological Authority. They give us the data for satellite monitoring. We get this data from them, and hence their contribution is noted in this space. As I said, the coverage we've talked about multi-peril and weather-based, but if maybe I'm just to go into details, the things which like for index insurance, they are covering you against excessive rainfall and drought. So if you are farmer out there, the biggest challenge for farmers, or which farmers face production risks, is mainly excessive rainfall or drought. If it is to rain, it will rain too much. If it is to shine, it will again shine too much. Now, we've all been hearing this notion or this talk about climate change. Climate change is real. It's right here with us, and we are seeing. Gone are the days when we used to know that from January, Feb, farmers will be planting. But you and I can agree or attest to the fact that from December, we've been receiving very minimal rainfall, and many farmers have not planted, which means now things are no longer the same. The rate at which things are changing is very high. So we have to protect ourselves. Our farmers out there have to plan and hedge themselves against these unforeseen events. So some of the risks covered, as I've said, for index insurance, excessive rainfall and drought. For this other multi-peril, it covers you more risks: excessive rainfall, drought, floods, hailstorm. It happens. There are some areas whereby hailstorm can come and hit the whole village or sub-county. Now, if a farmer is not insured, then they'll go back empty-handed. But if you are insured, you are rest assured that at least the insurance company will be able to give you something to go back with. So those are some of the risks which are insured. Now, like when we go the other side for animal, I can also say that still it is an indemnity, which means they insure against death unless the cause is excluded in the policy document. But most of the common death, accident, sicknesses are covered. Thank you. Thank you for that one, and I think it is one of the interesting questions, because if you do something and you don't measure it, then it's like you've not done it. Now, over the years, we've also seen increase in production because the production risks have been mitigated through insurance. A farmer is able to farm more. Say, I've been using 5 acres of land and I suffered loss, then insurance company compensates me. When I'm compensated, I'm able to go and hire more land if I don't have, or if I have the land, I'll now increase my capacity because now I have capital. So there is increased production, productivity down there with the farmers. If you ask farmers down there, very few farmers have, those who have been insured, let me be specific, those who have been insured, it is on a rare occasion that they have gone back empty-handed in a season. If you suffer loss, then insurance company will definitely compensate you. What that means is that the family is able to have income at all times, whether you've come back empty-handed from the garden or you have harvested. If you've not suffered loss, then you'll have production. If you've suffered loss, then insurance company will be compensating you in form of claims. We've also seen small-scale farmers progressing into becoming a large-scale farmers. As I said, if you have been using 3 or 4 acres of land with your sum insured of, say, 15 million or 10 million, God forbid you suffer loss and you are compensated that money. Definitely what will come into your head is to enlarge or increase your capacity, and hence you are able to have more productivity at the end of the day. We've also seen increased lending to agriculture sector. Banks are now able to give loans to farmers. Those days, banks would not give loans to agriculture. If you are to insure if you go as a farmer, you want to borrow, they'll want security. And this security, most farmers used not to have. Someone is telling you, I want a house, and the house they want, it is not the ordinary house you have back home. They want probably a semi-permanent house, if not permanent, which most farmers use not to have. But with agriculture insurance, banks, most of the big banks now mentioned the Centenary, Stanbic, DFC, they are able to give out loans to farmers, the loans called agriculture loans, because they are sure, should the unfortunate event happens, then insurance company will be able to compensate them. And the other development is that when this bank is compensated, they will not go after the borrower, or they will not go after the farmer. Unlike those days whereby you put your house, You get the loan, put it in the garden. At the end of the season, you harvest nothing. The bank comes and takes your house. Now that one is no more. Once you get agriculture loan, and it is specifically for agriculture purposes, then insurance company is there to hedge you against that. So that in the event that you are not able to achieve your expected yield, the bank does not come after you. The bank goes after insurance company for compensation on your behalf. As we've said, as we all know, agriculture employs over 70% of our population today. And if I look at the records we have, I don't think all the farmers in the country have been insured. I think what we need to do, whereas we've done awareness, we've gone out there to talk to farmers, we need to do more and more so that even everyone in the country gets to know about agriculture insurance and they benefit from it. Now, every year every financial year, government gives 5 billion to subsidize premium for farmers. Now, we've said that 70% of the population are involved in this sector. Now, 5 billion, if just 20% of farmers in the country are to be insured, that 5 billion is not enough. And it has been proven that within the first season, the 5 billion is over. So after the first season, in the second season, farmers pay full premium, which is becoming quite costly, and most of them are not able to buy insurance in the second season because of increased premium. So we would urge the government to increase the limit of subsidy, the premium subsidy, so that our farmers down there are able to benefit from this specific product. There's also need for us to improve on the structure, whereby right now we rely on insurance agents, insurance companies, and branches out there, extension workers. We need to really strengthen the structures down there. We need to train the group leaders in the villages, in these small groups, so that they are able to talk to their group members. Our insurance is business of trust. These group members trust their group leaders. So we need to use this approach of making the group leaders appreciate agriculture insurance, so that they can talk to their farmers and talk to their farmers down there in the languages they understand, so that the farmers can take on the products. As community-based organization, or those small associations down there, they play a very big role or critical role in ensuring that farmers take on agriculture insurance. As I've said, these farmers have their small groups, and the group members believe in their leaders. So these group leaders have provided structures for insurance companies, all those talking about agriculture, to engage with their members. When you go into a community, you engage those groups, they mobilize for you their group members, so that you are able to share with them about what you want to share with them. And in this case, we are talking about agriculture insurance. So with well-organized local structure, you are able to reach out to very many people or the group members, and hence creating that platform. The other thing is that these people pay small premiums. The premium, as I said, it can be as low as 1,000. Now imagine someone walking from their home to the bank to go and bank 1,000. So through group leaders, we've seen that there is ease when it comes to premium collection. These farmers collect their premiums as a group, and at the end of the day, the group leaders deposit this premium. It's the group leaders who take this money to the bank and pay it as one transaction, other than paying it as individuals. And when it is paid as one transaction, it even makes it much easier for the insurance company to do reconciliation when it comes to that. And as we've said, when it is easier when it comes to premium collection, it is the same thing applies to compensation. You find that most of our farmers, truth be told, don't have cell phones or don't have mobile phones. So even if you are to compensate these farmers through the mobile phones, then it becomes very difficult since very few of them own mobile phones. Okay, so the structures in the village has played a very big role or very critical role, and though we found it much easier to deal with the farmers through their association or small groups which are down there, both in terms of reaching out to them, collecting premium, and also compensation, because when we are paying, we pay through the group account, and the group leaders now cascade this money to the individual or the final beneficiary. Thank you very much.